My partner Chase died October 23rd, 1993, which was 10 years to the day that we met. I had, after that point, sort of receded behind the walls of our Beacon Hill apartment. Having lost Chase, my best friend Randy, and dozens of friends before them, left me with sort of a paralyzing numbness. I'd had Chase's body cremated, and I'd gotten several notices from the crematorium to pick up Mr. Leon's ashes. I just couldn't do it. Yeah, I guess it was the finality of the situation, but I just couldn't make myself go out into the cold, brutal Boston fall, winter, and pick those ashes up. So they just stayed where they were. They were in 4 boxes because Chase had requested that his ashes be disposed of in 4 different places, and I could foresee a future where I was going to have to divide ashes into 4, and I wanted no part of such a thing, so I asked them to do that. Christmas was approaching, and as I said, I was just so depressed, and Christmas is my favorite time of year. You know, I was always of the, if it doesn't move, decorate at school of Christmas decorating. Chase wasn't as much so, but he enjoyed the fact that I enjoyed it so much. Well, it was just me, and I started realizing I didn't buy any Christmas presents that year, didn't bake any cookies, and just didn't do all the things that gave me so much joy usually. When I realized I wasn't going to have a Christmas tree, I got even worse. I'd never had a Christmas without a Christmas tree, and I thought, well, that's what you can do for yourself. Go out and get a Christmas tree. So I did. I went out and got a Christmas tree. I put it up, started decorating, you know, and I had all the boxes of stuff out, you know, and I had carols on, I had mulled cider. I remember just like getting partially done, and I just sat down on the chair and ornaments in hand and surrounded by this mess. And I don't know how long I'd been that way, and the doorbell rang. And there was this skinny man, and all dressed in black, of course, right out of central casting for somebody who would be delivering ashes. There were 4 boxes in his hands, and I recognized them immediately, Chase's ashes. So I walked back into the house and closed the door and sat down where I was before the doorbell rang. All that pent-up grief that I'd just been storing just all came out at that moment. You know, it was just, through the bleariness of all this crying, I looked down at those boxes, you know, just holding them in my arms, and I noticed a little yellow Post-it note on top of one of them. Clearly it was meant to be removed before the boxes were delivered, but it said, "Deliver 4 boxes of Leon to Michael Anastasio." And this struck me as funny. You know, in the midst of all that crying, I thought of, Chase had a great sense of the absurd. All of a sudden, it was like I was seeing that note through his eyes, "Deliver 4 boxes of Leon." That was his last name, Chase Leon. And all of a sudden, I started chuckling. And then I started laughing. And then suddenly the laughter was as uncontrollable as the crying had been. You know, it was like I had released so much grief that all of a sudden, this one little Post-it note that some little office worker must have written out and stuck on there saved my life. It resurrected him for a minute, you know, because I saw that note through his eyes. And I looked around that room, and it may sound corny or whatever, but it was like everything in that room came to life suddenly. There was so much death and dying and sadness in that room. And then all of a sudden, it just sparkled with life. Everything that I saw, it was just like he was in every molecule around me. I got out the prettiest wrapping paper that I had, wrapped all of them, very good gift wrapper, wrapped them all, best ribbon that I had, and tied them up and made these beautiful, 4 beautiful bows. And I put those 4 boxes of Leon under the Christmas tree. You know, if I was looking for something to make pick things up, you know, getting 4 boxes of your deceased lover's ashes while you're decorating a Christmas tree is not going to cheer you up. But the Post-it note did.